Thank you for joining us today for the virtual Sunday service with the Center for Creative Living. CCL, a charter of the Universal Church of the Master, has served and supported the spiritual needs of its community here in the Bay Area for over 20 years.
Good morning, good morning. Good morning. Happy beginning Pride Month. And if you don't have a small gay pride flag, we got some here. Pick one up to take it home with you, okay? And you've got 5? And that way you can show your colors if you want to, or whatever, okay? This is a wonderful time of the year because so many things are happening. You'll be aware that there are people talking about new issues. We've got the election. If you haven't voted, please, you just got a couple more days. Please get your ballot in. That is one of the greatest gifts we have in this country. Yes, is the freedom to vote. So please think about that. When do I have something that's more important than voting? And I think you'll realize there's not much. Okay, if you're up walking around, and even if you're not, you can vote from your bed these days. I mean, you can vote just about anywhere. Please make sure your voice counts, because that's what this country has been founded on, and so we want you to do that. Unfortunately, at one point when our country was founded, some people weren't able to vote, but now I think we've pretty much got it. I don't know if they're raising even the whole thing. It was there for a while. If you had a felony, you couldn't vote, and that's been changing in quite a few states. So know that no matter who you are, you have a right to vote, and make sure you don't. If anybody says no, you can't, tell them Dottie says it. So she said you can vote. Okay, we'll get it going there. So we didn't have exercise this morning because Chris has an obligation with his family. And as you know, family obligations pretty much come first here. It's very, very important. Now, next week, we're not going to be here, okay? Right. We're going to be meeting at the UCM offices over in, is that Campbell?
Yeah.
No, it's technically San Jose.
Oh.
Okay. It's near Campbell.
It's near Campbell.
It's about
3 blocks from Campbell.
3 blocks from Campbell.
Campbell adjacent.
1361 South Winchester. Please have a program because it's got a map here and everything, because you won't be able to get here next Sunday. This is Calle de Alameda. They're blocking off the blocks and towing cars starting at 4 a.m. in the morning. The whole place is going to be tied down for a big celebration on the avenue. So we want you to know that. Don't come down here because the traffic's going to be horrible, and we're not going to be having church here. So we're going to meet you next week at UCM offices, and follow the map. We're going to have signs up there too. And the president of the Universal Church of the Master is here.
And our first lady.
And the vice president.
And the vice president and the first lady. I love that. But Corey, any secret on how to get there?
Any secret?
How to best to get you to UCM?
If you run 280, okay, you have to get off at the Winchester exit, and that's only coming south. If you're going north on 280, you get off at Bascom and have to go to Hamilton. Run 880 south, or 880 north, you get off at Hamilton and go
Up to Winchester,
to
make a right.
to Winchester, make a right. Then you have to go up and make a U-turn.
If you don't know how to get there, talk to Corey. Okay?
Those directions are on your program.
The directions are on our program.
And Corky's been going there for a lot longer than I have, so trust her completely.
Okay.
Your GPS will do a good job of taking it.
Okay, now, anybody besides Joyce Brown have a birthday coming up this week? Come on up.
Happy birthday, cousin.
Hey,
Jan
has hers.
Jan, come on.
Oh, that makes perfect
There you go.
Thank
Joyce,
you.
what is your favorite color?
I'm in gold today.
You're in gold
She's in
today.
gold today.
There
I
you
love it.
go.
Thank you.
And, Annie, let's lead us into a song of some kind.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Hold up. Happy birthday, we love you. Happy birthday, and may all your dreams come true. When you blow out the candles, one light stays aglow. It's the love light in your heart wherever you go.
Happy birthday! Thank you so very, very much for coming in the Sunday before your birthday. We really do appreciate that. Okay, any announcements?
Well, yeah, I want to tell Joyce that the reason that she doesn't have a birthday card is my fault, because Dottie says, oh, I've got to get a card out for Joyce's birthday, and I said, oh, they will be here. I didn't show it up. I didn't show up. However, your birthday card will be late.
Well, I think I've got something here for them. Now I can't find it, but anyway, that's okay. What did I do with those? I gave Annie an envelope.
Mine.
Yeah. Well, folks,
I see him right here, Dottie.
here, there's one that says Joyce on it. Did you give it to me?
Yes.
Okay. For some of you who were at my 80th birthday party, I found some beautiful pictures, and I wanted to share them. And because it was angelic. I do have cards. Look at that. Talk about. She's psychic.
Thank you. Oh.
These are pictures at my 80th birthday party. That was the last big party we had at our old center, and so I just wanted to pass out some of them that were really kind of interesting. Okay.
They're wonderful.
Yeah. So see, there were birthday cards hidden away here. I'd like you all to take a nice deep breath and put your feet flat on the floor. And I'm going to call our wonderful meditators, Janet and Ronnie, to come up here.
Ronnie's got his drum. For the
Keep an
drum.
eye on it, because I might.
It's a cute little drum, isn't it? Yeah.
Tuck it in your pocket.
Looking good. Is that a drum in your pocket? Or,
Oh, you're happy to see me.
So as you close your eyes, I want you to feel the energy in the room. The laughter, the love, the feeling of joy, and the feeling of source. Everywhere you go, everywhere you are, Spirit is there, the Creator is there with you. The Creator isn't somebody you can hide from, but the Creator is also someone who's not judgmental. So you take another deep breath and you relax further into your chair. Feel the love, the unconditional love of Source. And however you see Source, as a man, as a woman, as a breeze in the tree, as a waterfall, as an energy, just view Source for you. And know that this spiritual energy wraps its arms around you. So just let it wrap its arms around you. Take a nice deep breath and feel the essence of God, all of it. Whatever you want to call Creator, wrap you in their arms. And feel safe. safety in spirit is the most intense thing you can do for yourself. It's not safety of your body or safety in your mind. It's the safety of your spiritual essence, knowing that this life doesn't end at death. Feel what that feels like of you going on, leaving this plane and moving on into the next dimension. That relaxing, letting go of tension, and letting go of all the negativity surrounding you right now. Let go of all the negativity in the press and in the world. Let go of your fear of war and guns and prejudice and anger. Just release it. So it's just you and the source. And as you sit here with your eyes closed, listen to our wonderful Reverend Dr. Janet Shuthouse and Reverend Ronnie Brooksby as they take you on a wonderful spiritual journey with their music.
We are building safety today. We are opening our hearts in every way, and we are holding true to this our truth. We are one in this moment, and you and me, and you and me, we are in a relationship of love, of mutual regard. We are in a relationship for the world, and we reach out to spirit, and spirit sings our name, and we know we are not ever the same, because we're building this moment with the safety and the love. We are building safety of home, where all of us can live, wherever we have been, wherever we have gone, wherever we are going. Let it shine, let yourself be all that you can be. Let yourself see the love around you, falling like a sweet melody. We bring it home, we make a home, we reach out to each other's hand. We make this home, we create this safety across our world land, and all of us who have hidden secret know that your light needs to be seen. Be yourself, you're your own unique being. So shine, 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 shine. Let your light lead the way. Shine, 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 oh shine, shine, shine. Let us see each other's way. Shine, 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 oh shine, shine, shine. You are safe to be, you, my friends, and all your soul. You can let it fly free.
energy. You're shining. You're less afraid. You're less worried. You realize you are a shining example of the love of the Creator here and now. And go forth and shine. Thank you so very much. Well, we're so excited about having our speaker today because, as you know, Reverend Dr. Ayleen has been out and about. She went all the way to New York to be in a play. She was a star in a play in New York. And she had wondrous stories to tell, I'm sure. We haven't heard any of the stories yet. We don't know if she met some new and exciting person in her love life. We don't know if she made $20,000. We don't know if she is going to be in another play in 2 weeks. We don't know anything about what happened, but we do know that we support her in anything she's doing because we know whatever she's doing is for the best and highest good of not only us, but the whole planet. Because that's the kind of person she is. Please welcome Reverend Dr. Ayleen. Of your way, so
Thank you, thank you,
can get
thank
in
you.
here. Yeah, welcome. Plus, she's a darn good chiropractor.
Yay! She beat the dog this morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Yes, I was in New York.
All right.
How do I feel about New York? I love New York.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of people saying, it's like, wait. You live on a mountain, you live in a cabin, you live surrounded by trees. How could you have anything but a miserable time in New York? First off, the mountain, the trees, my forest, those all exist inside of me. No matter where I go, they're there. And yes, instead of being surrounded by towering trees, I was surrounded by towering buildings of concrete and steel. Instead of the very casual, light attitude of those who live on the mountain, I was surrounded by the spirits of New York. Now, I figured that when I went to the Amazon, I decided to match the energy of the Amazon, which is something, being an empath is really fun because you can match the energy of wherever you're at. You can become one with it, become one with the flow. And if I can go to the Amazon and be the only one in my group who did not get bitten by mosquitoes because I matched it, well, I figured, why can't I do the same thing in New York? And match it I did. There is a vibrancy, an energy, an intensity, a passion. It is the place of dreams. It's like, suddenly plugging into, a significantly higher voltage than you're used to. Go from 110 to 220. First thing in the morning, you see the business people out dressed and they've got their sneakers on as they're, marching their way through. You've got people heading to the subway with their rolling bags to catch the subway to get to the airport. You see the dog walkers. You see, people out early in the morning. There's no time. I mean, they call it the city that never sleeps.
Yeah.
Nothing shuts off.
Nothing.
When I flew in, it's like, no wonder it's a city that never sleeps. The lights are always on. And I was lucky enough to be about 2 blocks from Grand Central Station. I found an Airbnb, and it's like, New York is expensive. Manhattan is very expensive. And so it's like, okay, if you can just get me a place to stay that is not going to cost me an arm and a leg. And I heard a little voice that said, done. I went onto Airbnb and found a place that only cost me $40 a night.
Wow.
And I mean, I shared the room with like, 4 other people, but it was nice. It wasn't bad. And so, I had a wonderful place to stay that was centrally located. I was right down the street from the Empire State Building.
Wow.
And every day I would walk over to Times Square.
Oh my God.
Give my regards to Broadway. Remember me to Herald Square. I saw Herald Square. I saw 42nd Street. And as I walked down and saw all these theaters with lights lit up, and I saw all these people and people who were actors going in and out of different theaters, and and it was like, I'm one of them. Yes. I'm an actor. Yes. And as I looked up at those big lights, and I thought, what if it was my name up there? Yeah. Maybe. And I don't care what anybody says about New Yorkers, I had a wonderful experience. I was trying to get into the subway with the little card thing, and apparently I did not have the right speed or something. And rather than the people behind me is like, hey, come on, move along, a very nice gentleman said, oh, you need to do it like this. And I did, and I said, thank you. And he said, no problem. Have a good day. Walking along the street, and I did learn the whole thing about crossing against the light.
Right.
Okay, in New York, it actually makes sense.
Yes.
Because you got a lot of one-way streets. If nobody's coming, you walk. Because everybody's got some place to be. But, if there was traffic, people just kind of stood there and waited. And I was thinking, wow, these are all polite people. I rode the buses, I rode the subways, I rode the train to go visit my son, who I hadn't seen in years, and yet I was able to see him on his birthday. His birthday was one of our days off.
Oh, wow.
And it was a beautiful train ride to upstate New York, because New York isn't all alike.
No, it's not.
Just like California. New Yorkers are very different, just like the people here. And once I realized that almost every misconception that I went in with, including the fact that it's like, okay, what's the big deal about New York pizza? Oh my God, New York pizza is amazing. Okay, I will give them pizza, definitely. And pastrami and Reuben sandwiches.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was just like walking along the street and the street food vendors, and it was just like, wow. And then it was like, wow, everybody is so nice. Then again, while I was there, cannabis became legal for recreational use, and there were like dozens and dozens of like food trucks, but they had cannabis and edibles and all that. Well, maybe that's why everybody's so nice right now. And it could explain the really long line for pizza. It was amazing. And at no time did I feel physically unsafe. At no time did I feel, because we would rehearse until like 10 o'clock at night. I mean, there was a lot of stuff to do. There were production meetings, there were script readings, there were one-on-one, rehearsals with like one other person you had a scene with. There was meetings with the writer, there was meetings with the director. So yeah, I was at the theater a lot, and often till about 10 o'clock at night. And I walked. It was about a half an hour from the theater to where I was staying, and I walked it at night in Manhattan. Wow. Not a problem. Never felt threatened. And yet, right after I arrived, I had this little tiny thing inside of me that did feel unsafe, that wasn't in my happy place. And I kept thinking to myself, I am here, I am living my dream. I left with the love and support that I'm surrounded with from this amazing community who supported me, emotionally and financially to help me make this dream happen. Of course I'm happy. And that little voice inside me that was saying, really? Are we happy? And that little voice started getting a little bit louder, a little bit louder. And then I started getting nervous about knowing the script. I mean, I knew the script, but I started getting scared about it, and I started thinking, okay, maybe I need to go over the script more. Maybe I need to do this. The first time we walked into the theater, I was like, oh, God. this is real. This is a thing. This is a thing that's happening. And my friend Flo, the director, who I have performed with many, many, many times, he had told me, he said, okay, this is the big leagues here.
Yeah.
This is off Broadway. Not everybody's nice. People are competitive. People may be a little bit of a diva. You know, it is, you know, the reality of the theater community is there's that side of, you know, competition. There's that side of, you know, everybody wants to be the star. And I was the star of this. And there were folks who had tried for that part who were not so happy. And, you know, me coming from California and getting a lead role, there were those who were not so happy. And so he wanted to prepare me for that. And I thought, well, is that what's making me not feel safe? Is that what's taking me out of my happy place? No. But it just kept nagging at me. I was physically safe. I was doing a thing. And finally, one day, it got so loud that it's like, wait a minute, stop. And I sat down, and I thought, okay, I think I need to talk to my best friend about this. So I sat down, and as I often do, I closed my eyes, and I pictured going to Creator's office. And in my vision of Creator, I saw them sitting at a huge desk, lots of monitors. And I said, as I've said many, many times, hey, it's me. Got a minute?
Yeah.
Now, I consider that different from prayer. There is, you know, there's that, you know, it's like, you know what, I really could use a favor. I really, you know, this is what I would like. This is what I'd like to bring in. This is what I would like for someone I care about. This is what I'd like for the community, my world. To me, there's a difference between that and, you got a minute? And I picture them turning around saying, for you always. And oh, by the way, that's the answer you get too. And I said, well, first off, I want to thank you. Thank you so much. You know, this is just amazing. And they smiled and said, well, I'm glad you like it. You know, I love it when my children are happy. But you're not happy, are you? And I said, no. Why? And so Creator turns around in you know, in really cool big chair with wheels, pulls up another chair, and it's like, okay, have a seat. And I said, why is it? What is it that's taking me out of happiness at what should be the happiest time of my life? And Creator said, you know what, I get it. I understand. And I'm so glad you're asking this question. You know how in every challenge I put a gift? And I said, well, yeah. You know, which, you know, they said that it's like, oh, well, you know, and thank you for passing that along. And in every gift I put a challenge. And I'm like, what? Gift? Something cool, you know, it's, I mean, I know like getting socks for Christmas, but you know, it's like, okay. And they said, well, the fact that you are experiencing this tells me that you are paying attention, that your experience, while it's amazing and wonderful, even happy experiences can cause stress. As Jan has often told us, even wonderful things can put us into our unhappy place, even though we should be happy. I remember when I first found out I was having a baby. It was something that made me so happy, and then I was terrified. What if something happens while I'm carrying it? What if I do something wrong? What if there's something wrong with my baby? What am I supposed to do after I have the baby? I don't know anything about raising a baby. Even good things can create stress. And I was in one of the most exciting moments of my life. Every dream I had. And Creator said, so why do you think that you're unhappy? And I thought about it and I said, well, something doesn't feel safe. And they said, uh-huh. Is it physical? No. So what is it you don't feel safe about? And the first thing that came to my mind was, I could mess this up. This is the dream of a lifetime. This is a once in a lifetime chance. And even though I was happy to have it, I was terrified. From the time I knew I was going, honestly, I was scared. Because how many times do you get a once in a lifetime chance? And I knew if I messed it up, it would never come again. And not just that, I knew if I messed it up, I would disappoint everybody who believed in me, everybody who contributed. The story that was coming out was that I would let everybody down, that I could let everybody down. And that thought terrified me. How can I go back? If I screw this up, how can I go back and face anyone? They believe in me. But in that moment, it wasn't your belief that was the question, it was mine. And Creator said, okay, is it making sense now? And I thought, well, yeah, I don't want to disappoint other people. And they said, you're close. You've almost got this. Is this really about anyone else? And I thought, and I said, no, not all. It's about the fact that I was experiencing imposter syndrome. I was thinking to myself, maybe I'm not that good. Maybe everybody was just being nice to me, saying that I could do this. Maybe I really can't. Maybe I am too old. Maybe I'm not good enough for New York, for Broadway. And I am terrified at finding that out. And Creator said, okay, so what do you want to do about that? I said, I don't know. What can I do about it? And I was told, remember the first time you got up on a stage? Think about that. And I thought about that. And I thought about how good it felt. I thought about how right it felt. And then I immediately started to devalue it. It's like, well, yeah, but I mean, it was just like a little community thing, and it was this, it was that. And then Creator said, no. Not the community theater stuff. Go all the way back. And then I remembered when I was about 5 years old, I was in a school Christmas play. I was we were toys, and I was in a ballerina outfit that my mother had made. And I was the only toy that had a speaking part. We are the happy Christmas toys for all good little girls and boys. To this day, I remember that line. And I remember how proud I was of giving it. And that dream when I was little, well, first off, I wanted to be a Rockette. That didn't happen. But I wanted to be an actress. I saw myself maybe getting an Oscar one day. And as I thought about that moment, and I realized my whole life that this was a step toward a dream that I had my entire life, that honestly I gave up on a long time ago. Community theater would be good enough. How many times have you guys had something that you wanted so much, and then when it was right in front of you, it terrified you?
Oh, yeah.
Because there's nothing that makes you fear losing something as having it right within your grasp. And as I sat and had this conversation with Creator, it was like I did reach the point where I wasn't sure what to do about it. Should I just focus on how good it felt? eventually, but the first thing I had to do was first acknowledge that I was scared. Acknowledge that if something went wrong, I would have to deal with that. I also had to acknowledge that I wouldn't be there if I wasn't at least good enough. I mean, the playwright, this was a competition. The playwright wasn't going to choose me for a part unless he thought that this was something that would help him win. The director, Flo, would not have pushed for the playwright to give me that part if he didn't believe that I could do it, because this was a part of him, making points back with that community. So, okay, I didn't get the part just because people like me. I got it because I deserved it, because I worked for it, because I spent years earning it. Then Creator reminded me, it's like, I never would leave you alone in this, right? And I said, yeah. And don't I always meet you halfway? Sometimes more than halfway. And don't you know that I gave you these gifts, just like I gave to all the rest of my children? You just decided to use yours. He said, part of this, yes, I do put a challenge in every gift, but within that challenge, I put another gift. He said, let people know that even though a gift holds a challenge, I don't leave anybody alone. And that challenge is meant to help you grow. He said, this is real. You belong here. Not because I decided it, it's because you decided it. Because the favorite gift that I have given to my children is the gift of choice. Now, like every good parent, I'm sure Creator thinks it's like, could you not choose better? And yet, that gift stays with us. We all have the gift of choice. Mm-hmm. So at that point, since I was reminded, I had choice. I have a choice in the story I tell myself. Because I'm making it up anyway, why not tell myself a different story? And as I realized, I do know this script. As I realized, I belong here. The very first opening night, which was amazing. Did I get every line absolutely 100% correct? No. But I was close. And, it was, and there's so much that goes on, and there's a lot of things that can distract you. And, it's like, yeah, I go on the stage and give lines, but then I was in almost every scene, which meant I had a different costume. Wow. And shall we say that modesty kind of goes out the window in theater. Right. Yeah. I was standing backstage, and as soon as I got off the stage, I had someone yanking my top up, yanking the skirt off, putting another skirt on me, putting another top on me, and it's like, okay, now get out there. It's like, I don't think I've ever had that many people involved in my getting dressed. And, and Dottie, while I did not find someone special, well, other than in some ways myself.
Yes. Yay, that's the best person
I did kiss a guy for the first time in 13 years. There was a kissing scene, and it was like, do I remember how to do this? It's like, okay, if I can't keep up with practice, I'll keep up with theory. But, it went well, and I had people come up to me afterwards, and the play was based, it was, for those of you who don't know, it was about a woman who was a part of a family that owned a property in a place called Sag Harbor, which is in the Hamptons. And it is a place that It was developed by the wealthy Black and Native Americans who were not really welcome in the rest of the Hamptons. So they were kind of it's like, okay, you guys take this part, and turned it into a vibrant, beautiful community. And there is now an issue of gentrification. And the families that built those homes and that, that culture that was there, the African-American culture, that now is being threatened in many ways. So my character was a woman whose family owned a house, a summer house there. And, my husband wanted to sell it, and my brother wanted to sell it, but I didn't, because it was I felt it was a part of not just my legacy, but an important legacy. And so I'm actually very irate most of the play. I use swear words and everything.
Wow.
Ooh. So, it is, it's just when I think back on it, it's like, wow, I was her. And on one of the nights, there was a group who came from Sag Harbor, the Sag Harbor Historical Society. Wow. There was a group of women, and I mean, these were the, those grand dames of Sag Harbor. And they came up to me after the performance, and they said, "Have you been to Sag Harbor?" And I said, "Well, unfortunately, no." And they said, "You spoke like you do." Because at the end, I have this big monologue about what it means. And they said that they had tears in their eyes.
Oh. All right, then.
And they said, "Baby, you are welcome in Sag Harbor." And that meant a lot to me. That meant the world to me, that these people who were a part of this, they said, "You talk like you were one of us." And it was just amazing. I had people coming up to me and, it's like, oh my gosh, because, every day we would come in and, we had to show our vaccine card every time we came to the theater. We had to show that we had taken tests. We were testing like every 48 hours. And which, it's like total irony. I tested there every 48 hours for 21 days. I come back here a week later, I've got COVID. Really?
That was that challenge in that.
Yeah, there was that challenge. But the thing is that, I had people who were coming up and saying, "Oh, we know you." Oh. I would come in and, it's like, "Oh, hi." It's like, "Oh, we know you. We've watched you rehearse. You're amazing. Oh. You are absolutely amazing." One lady swore I was in a Netflix series. It's like, I think I remember that. But that idea that I was treated like an actor. I was approached like an actor. They said, "Oh, you're an actor," and I would say, "Yes." I didn't minimize it, because it's like, well, I've just done like some community theater back in California, and I'm really, I don't have any big, New York experience or anything. And Flo immediately told me, he said, "When you walk into that theater, you own it. Yes. You do not hang your head to any of these people, because there are some who are going to want you to." Right. Yes. He said, "You're an actress. You are nothing less."
All right.
Yes, Lord.
And I was glad that he said that to me. And as I struggled with finding my happy place, when everything was supposed to be happy, the first thing about getting out of a trap is realizing you're in it. And the best way to avoid a trap is to know that it's there. And as amazing a time as I had, and and we still are waiting to hear on the results of the competition, which is maddening for us all. Yeah. And that's going to lead somewhere. And and that's going to bring its challenges, because it will bring its gifts. And a part of finding your happy place, when you've lost it in a happy situation, is realizing it's okay not to feel okay. If everybody's telling you, "Oh, you must be so excited," and you don't feel it, there's nothing wrong with you. Right. Life is fun until it isn't, and it sucks until it doesn't. And what's really cool is that we're never alone in it. There's always our best friend, who, even though they're taking care of a whole lot of stuff, will always say, "For you, I always have time. What's going on? Talk to me. It's okay. And it was through that conversation that I found my happy place again. It was through realizing that my community loves me and they wouldn't give a damn if I didn't do perfect. And thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for that. And by the way, remember that yourselves. Your community loves you. You don't have to be perfect. We love you anyway. Please, please remember that, because sometimes it's easy to forget. Yeah. So, I do heart New York. At some point, my path may take me there, and I know that's okay. I know that no matter what I do, no matter the challenges, when I feel great about it or when I don't feel great about it, I know that my happy place is my choice. And even when things are going crazy, I can still be happy. I can still enjoy it. I can still embrace the cool stuff. Oh God, street chicken kebabs. Happy place. But you make your happy place. Find your happy place, because you earned it. You deserve it. It's yours. And it is whatever you want it to be. And it doesn't mean you can only take happiness in there. You can, in fact, I think your happy place is one of the best places to take your fear and your sadness. Because you can sit with that there too, because even in that there's a gift. So, follow your dreams. Don't be afraid you're going to mess up. I mean, you may mess up on some things, but pretty much you've overcome 100% of everything you've ever faced. May not have always been pretty, and it may not have always been the solution that you preferred, but you made it through. And if you can make it through that, you and your happy place can make it through anything. Thank you.
Wow. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Ayleen, we have Glenn and Chin Lee say bravo and amen to the comment you made, and to Ayleen and that's how do you do it? Everyone, Ayleen and everyone. That's from Glenn and Chin Lee.
And why don't you all just take a moment and close your eyes and visualize your happy place. Each one of you has your own happy place, but it's like a bubble. You can carry your happy place with you wherever you travel, in a crowded airport or in a car all by yourself in the middle of the desert. Wherever you are, you can take your happy place with you, just like Dr. Ayleen said. Don't forget, it's your happy place. And don't let anybody take it away. Okay, well, it's now time to pass the basket.
Pass the basket.
And could I have somebody else pass the basket besides Annie, so Annie can get ready to do a closing prayer?
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, the time's different. Yeah, that clock's different.
And this clock?
I'm confused about what time it is. I'm sorry. Just going
It's okay. Giving to the ministry
from which I receive
our spiritual support and nurturing is an affirmation and consciousness of the truth that spirit is the prospering power enriching every area of my life.
They changed, Corky changed it.
They changed it?
Yes, it's been changed. Corky changed it.
If you can put in your envelope, but please put your hand over it and put in a blessing. Because we can use absolutely as many blessings going out to the world, and and that's okay. And every blessing adds weight to this basket.
Yay! Bring it on, we can do it.
Okay, Reverend Dan, and if you're ready to come up here.
I'm ready or not.
I will move over, and Corky is taking down names for people who are interested in speaking. So if you are interested in giving a talk, please let her know, because we want to hear about your happy place. We want to hear about your life. So that's what we're doing, finding out who you are.
And we're starting our classes in September,
Yes.
and there's a list of the potential, or the
Thank you, my dear.
potential classes over there. Yes, here we go. In his hand.
Try and move
There's a whole bunch of them. Take a bunch of them with you. Thank you.
So Ayleen, back in 1996, I had one adventurous day in New York City, because I was staying with a friend in Long Island, and she took me into New York City, and we did everything from, going and buying bootlegs and going through Central Park, and of course had to eat at the Carnegie Deli, which unfortunately isn't there anymore. The sandwich got very big. And we went to the Yankee Stadium to sit in the bleacher seats, and we had to ride the subway there during rush hour to get there. So all the exciting adventures, but I have a lot of friends in New York, and they're amazing, wonderful people. And I have one friend who says, I let the New York in me come out, meaning that she's strong and she stands firm for what she believes in, and if she wants something, she sees to it that it gets done. It doesn't mean that she's a mean and terrible person, but she knows how to stand up for herself. And blessed be, I think we all need to be in that place. And congratulations to you. I think this is so wonderful and exciting. And you're right, we would love you no matter what the outcome. So we always love you, just like you guys. We all love each other here. So thank you so much. Just take a moment and close your eyes, and taking a nice deep breath. Breathing in all that wondrous joy that we have just had, and beautiful conversation with Creator. And let's breathe out. Let's breathe out everything that is not in that moment, because again, Creator is there to take it all from us and turn. What I love about Creator is that Creator can take everything that seems like a problem to us and turn it into a gift. Because there is a gift in learning about ourselves and learning about what's going on with us. So dearest Mother, Father God, our dearest Creator, thank you so much for this day, and thank you for our lives. Thank you for this time of being together, both virtually and in person. We are so grateful to have these opportunities to be able to hug again, to be able to say hello and see the smile in everybody's eyes, but also share that energy and share that smile through the waves of Wi-Fi and wherever else it needs to go, because every time we are standing in our center, every time we have and recognize the Creator is with us through everything, that's when peace happens. That's when good things happen. That's when we know that no matter what the appearances are, this is just people in the process of awakening. And Creator, we thank you so much for keeping us together and recognizing that you are standing with us. We know that you have our backs. You know that you are helping us to know our oneness. And in our oneness, instead of standing in what appears to be a negative energy, we can stop for a moment and we can ask ourselves, we can ask you, help us see what it is that we are working on for ourselves, turning our fears into joy and into the opportunity to build our strength. And even if it takes time, and even if we flounder, and even if we make mistakes, there is no love lost ever. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that. Let's go out this week, Creator, and can you help be with us all the time, holding our hands, because even when you're sitting in front of your computers and you're looking through all your screens with us in your office, you are also reaching out, and you have the ability to reach out and touch each and every one of us. So we are with you always, and you are with us. And we're going to go out and have a beautiful week, and we're going to bless everybody and everything that we see, and we're going to speak our voice by voting. We're going to do all the different things that are helping us to create a better world again, keeping us in our center, because being in our center is what helps us to create a better world. It helps us to help you, Creator. Again, we say thank you, thank you, thank you,
Blessed be, amen, and so it is.
Thank you very much. And
Yay!
I want to thank Dr. Ayleen. I came in with a bad back, I thought, and then she said I had a rib out of place. And that's a nice thing about having a chiropractor handy, you know, she just kind of put my rib back. My rib doesn't want to do that. It's telling me right now, you're going to do what? I was happy out there. So if I'm wincing, believe me, it has nothing to do with any one of you. It has to do with a errant rib in my back, doing some exciting thing. Next week, please talk to everybody you know that might be coming to church and tell them it won't be here. We have to, and call people and say, if you've never been over to the UCM headquarters, please, this is where church is going to be next week. And I want you to, you know, we need to bang the drums. We need to let people know, because nothing's as bad as showing up at a place and nobody's there. You feel like, what did I do? I don't know about you, but don't you have that feeling? You find go to a place and it's closed and you think, what did I do? You know, like maybe if I'd been coming to this place and buying more things, they'd still be open, you know? So, but I don't want people to think that CCL has disappeared. It's just, we're not there. So next week, for sure, a move is in store. I want to thank you all for coming today. What a beautiful day. Thank you, Dr. Ayleen. That was so great. Yay! I had no idea what you were going to talk about, and I just was really praying it was going to be New York, because this is something different for us here in California. We hear about, I'm sure New Yorkers hear about California, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, you know.
Although they said they knew I was from California by my accent.
Yes.
What accent,
Yeah, okay, yep. Well, I want to bless each and every one of you. You can hang out here, have coffee. I don't know what happened to our food today. It's the first time since we've been here, since October, that our wonderful Gabrielle hasn't shown up with a cart of food. Well, that's okay. We don't need anything more than the universe is already giving us. But please introduce yourself to people. Let's get to know each other, and we'll see you next week. Thank
Now,
you
it's going to
very
be
much.
11 o'clock next week.
Yeah.
We don't have room to have the exercises. So,
Oh, there she is. You know, you say her name twice and she appears.
You don't have to do it 3 times?
And don't forget to pick up a flag if you don't have one in your home, so you can celebrate Pride this month.
Yes.
Thank you.
Gotta do it.
there's the flag.
Okay.
We're gonna go down the stack.